Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by Slough Joint Manager Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Yeah, not too bad, John.
A little bit disappointed after this Easter weekend?
Yeah, bitterly disappointed. We've got no points from 2 games and haven't scored. So, you're never going to be happy as a manager with that. It's at the moment a bit of a broken record, but we're not taking our chances and we're not even testing the keeper really. I think we've maybe had 3 shots, maybe 4 on target today, and I think 2 of those are trickled back to him. Listen, we're not getting an awful lot of luck. Ricochets are sort of bouncing off, and feels like we're a little bit cursed at the moment. But we have to keep going, and we need to pick up more points between now and the end of the season.
Today's performance was below par.
I'd say first 10 minutes I thought we were awful. Thought we started really, really poorly. You could probably hear us from the sidelines. We weren't happy in the slightest. We were second to everything. I then thought that we then played our way back into the game, and I felt that we were quite comfortable at that stage, and they hadn't really hurt us beyond those first sort of 10 minutes. We put plenty of balls in the box today, plenty of corners, plenty of free kicks, and some good quality balls as well from Ryan Hope in particular, crying out for somebody to get on the end of, and that's what we're not doing at the moment, which is extremely frustrating because we are getting plenty of balls still into the box, but we're not getting on the end of anything at the moment. And we had a chance, where we had a bit of territory and play and stuff like that, and Charlie's had the great chance at the back post where he's sort of put it over, but we had 2 or 3 chances where we could get shots off and we didn't, and it comes down to confidence and a little bit psychological at this stage. When you've gone quite a few games without scoring, it starts to play in everyone's mind. And but at the same stage, we were still relatively comfortable, and then shocking error from Jay. Really, it's you're in your penalty box, you're back to goal, and you've let the ball run across your body, not knowing where your man is, and he knows he cost us. It's as simple as that. If he just deals with it, it's not a problem, and we probably go in at half time 0-0, and the problem is we concede, and where we haven't been scoring, it becomes even harder mentally to sort of go out second half and try and do that. And make no bones about it, second half they were better than us. I thought they had more chances and they looked more of a threat, and I thought we looked off it second half, if I'm brutally honest. And listen, the pitch doesn't help. The pitch is absolutely woeful, but it's the same for them, and I thought they actually at times got the ball down second half and actually played more than they probably normally do. Thought the lad Preen for them was excellent, and Stefan up front worked his socks off, and I thought they just won more battles second half, and it was really, really disappointing second half.
So where'd you go from here? Obviously, there's a perception potentially that do these games matter to you and the players?
Of course they do. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's it's myself and John are people who want to win games of football. We don't do it for a bit of a giggle and to do something. It's serious for us, and it's very frustrating when we're not winning games. And listen, we all know we're not at Hungerfords and Ketterings and teams like that levels at the moment, and that side's been together for a few years now, and you can see that they are solid, and they that's why they're up there basically, and we know we need to do quite a bit in the summer still. We have got some good players within the squad, but there's still going to be a lot of changes in the summer because you're in the game to win, and I think sometimes we don't have enough know-how at this level sometimes to close a game out or to eke a 1-0 win or whatever it might be. So there's lots of work that we're doing in the background, and we're very limited to what we can do this season. You know, we can't make any more signings. We can't bring anyone in. We are what we are, and you know, it's down to the players to try and get themselves out of the hole that they've got themselves in. Because we could be sitting here today, you know, 8 points better off. You know, from you look at the St Neots, Frome, and Bideford. They're the three games I look at that really frustrate me, because we've come away from 1 point of those three games, and we should have had 9 points. But that was our inability to close games off and to actually get games won. And you know, if we'd sat there, then I don't think too many people would have been saying an awful lot about losing away at Kettering 1-0 and maybe losing today. But you know, when you back up those results with the last two results, then it's a really, really poor run of form. And and as I say, things will be done in the summer, and you know, we just have to keep going. And you know, but it is frustrating.
You've got 4 games obviously still to play ahead of that. The final 2 games at Holloway's and 2 reasonably long trips away.
Yeah.
What do you hope to get out of those games? And from a squad perspective, how much do you want to give some of those perhaps fringe players some game time?
It's so difficult, because I still want to win games of football, but we're not winning games of football at the moment. We haven't got lots to change it around with. You know, I know we've obviously got Gary and Jake, and you know, Jake will be the first to admit, you know, he's not 100% fit. You know, and he needs to probably go and have a real good summer, because you know he's had it for a couple of years where his overall fitness isn't probably where it needs to be. You know, talented player, but you know, we need Jake Parsons fit. And sometimes, you know, we obviously played him at Kettering, and by his own admissions, you know, he said, you know, he sort of struggled through it because, you know, he knew he wouldn't last the 90, and therefore he was holding himself back. So, you know, it's frustrating for him. That's frustrating for us. You've got, you know, Gary, you know, you've got obviously young Adam. Adam's suspended next weekend. We still want to win games of football. So we'll try and put out whatever side we can to win a game of football Saturday. You know, it becomes vitally important that we get 3 points. But you know, we need to do some work, definitely.
And from an overall perspective, it looks like you may finish in or around those places just above the relegation zone, fairly similar to last year, but perhaps with a slightly better points record, hopefully. How do you kind of view it?
Well, disappointed. You know, I'll be brutally honest. Where we were 5-6 weeks ago, we were sitting there thinking, well, we can, you know, if we can go and have even an average end to the season, we're going to have had a reasonable season. And I think that some of the players that we've got, I look at the side. I do look at the side and think we are much better than we were last season. I do think the league's stronger, but we're still not where we need to be. I can't say that we've got any entitlement to be up there. You know, you look at our crowds and things like that in comparison to crowds in you know, teams in our league. You know, we're not the highest. You know, we're not the highest players. We haven't got the biggest crowds, and you know, sometimes I think there needs a bit of realisation that we're not where we necessarily want to be at this moment. Obviously, next season might be a completely different kettle of fish, but you know, we're still waiting on a few bits, you know, with the new ground and whatever else to know exactly where we're going to be. So it's difficult, but you know, we'll continue to fight, and we'll continue to, you know, talk to players in regards to next season, and you know, we'll try and have as many tied up as quick as we can, if I'm brutally honest.
And finally, from a perspective of injuries, obviously Guy Hollis came off just before half-time today. I know there was plenty of people queuing up to get treated by Kev before the game.
Yeah.
Lots of players carrying injuries this time of the season.
Yeah, you know, but I think every side's like that. I mean, Guy came off, his hamstring was just too tight. You know, he thought that he would pull it, and you know, unfortunately, we can't afford to lose Guy Hollis for the rest of the season. And you know, Guy, well, obviously, as say, Adam New suspended from Thursday for 2 games for bad shot Lee, so that will probably just be Saturday's game against Chippenham. So we couldn't afford to lose Guy, and he wasn't convinced that he would be able to get through the game. So, you know, we had to bring him off. Once we conceded second, we brought Putz off, because similar thing really. Putz Potts, although he was initially, we'd spoken to him about 5 minutes before, he said, "How are you?" And he was struggling. And he said, but he wanted to carry on, which is, great from his point of view. But once the second went in, he sort of looked over and, he knew that he needed to come off because he saw he's got a problem with his back and groin. Nath wasn't feeling great today. He's feeling a little bit rough. So, that's a few excuses. That's part of football. You get injuries and whatever else, especially at the back end of the season. We've had a tough run of games, but that's football. So we just have to get on with it, and we'll get them in again, for training this week, and we'll work hard, and that's all we can say. It's a little bit disappointing in the changing room because you're sort of saying the same things at the moment, and the main thing is not taking enough shots and not getting on the end of things, and not taking chances when they come our way.
Okay. Well, thanks for the update. Thanks for the frank and honest assessment of the current position. Good luck with that work this week and the next home game against Chippenham.
Cheers, John.
Thanks.